your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is nothing more.
Okay boys, what's good? I'm currently on my way to my friend's house because today I'm going to pick up a car with him because he bought a very cheap BMW M5 and he asked me to come with him to see the car and to pick it up because it's a 6 or 7 hour drive, so we have around 650 kilometers or something like that, so it's going to be fun, of course, and I'm going to take you guys along with me or with us and show you how to buy a BMW M5 for cheap. Hopefully you enjoy this video. Let's go. The F10 M5, a true icon amongst the M5 series, back from a time when an M5 actually sounded like a car and not like a vacuum cleaner. The F10 is the successor to the legendary E60 M5 and comes with a 4.4 liter twin turbocharged V8, making it the first production M5 to ever come turbocharged. From factory, these cars have around 560 horses, but the tuning potential is way above 700 with just a simple tune. This S63 engine paired with a dual clutch transmission makes the F10 arguably the most driver-focused M5 we've seen so far. This drivetrain paired with a truly timeless 4-door saloon car silhouette and some of the most luxurious interiors we've seen is something a modern day M5 can only dream about. So it's understandable that even 10 years after the production ended, prices for clean examples are still anywhere from 35 to 40k. So naturally, when my friend told me he bought a car for less than half of the price of a normal example, I had to join him and find out what he actually bought. Did he score a winner with this F10 M5, or is it a classic example of you get what you pay for? Let's find out. And so off we were on our 700 kilometer drive to the M5. And we were actually on quite a strict time plan because the seller had only given us a 1 hour time frame when we could come and pick up the car. Now keep in mind we were traveling 700 kilometers, so this wasn't really reasonable in my opinion, and it actually made me wonder how serious of a seller this guy was. Right, so we have around 400 kilometers left. Going very nice so far. Also look at the X5, very nice, very nice. So the seller told us that the M5 was running and driving, but honestly we were a bit skeptical about that. Still, as you might have noticed, we didn't bring a trailer and it was our plan to actually drive the M5 the entire 700 kilometers back. So keep in mind that we didn't have a plan B, which meant if there was anything wrong with the M5 we would be in major trouble. So naturally, once we were getting close to our destination, our expectation for the BMW F10 M5 were quite high. But when we actually arrived, there wasn't an M5 inside, and at first we thought we got scammed, but turns out the guy actually gave us his neighbor's address and then only gave us the real address after seeing that we had arrived there, which at first made me a bit skeptical of the guy. And there it was. Before us actually was a running and driving BMW F10 M5. So right from the start you can see that this is a pre-LCI model, so it's not a facelifted version, which typically would be the more desirable version, but hey, we're happy with what we got.
Ist ja mindestens 120er.
Kann ich auch gerne mal rausfahren. Ja, kann man besser einmal rumgehen, weil
So the first thing we took a look at was the V8 engine.
Da ist auf jeden Fall Platz ohne Luftfilter.
Yeah, as you can see, the car has these front mount intakes which 100% need to come off. But aside from that, the engine was looking and sounding healthy, so we took a look at the interior. And there you could actually see what made this car so cheap in the first place. Because quite literally everywhere you looked there was some damage to the interior.
Das ist Schrott. Gone.
So yeah, a broken door lock. Not the most expensive, but certainly a pretty annoying and time-consuming thing to exchange. And as you might have guessed, it didn't stop there. The seat was ripped, the center console was completely annihilated, all of the plastic buttons were super worn, and there you can really see that this car almost has 250,000 kilometers, which is around 150,000 miles. But looks aside, the car was actually in decent condition, meaning that mechanically there wasn't anything wrong with it, and at first glance it actually looked like the car was accident free. And I don't know about you guys, but these 22-inch wheels should seriously be considered a crime.
Reifen aus 2015.
And going back to the interior, this car has a pretty sick spec, so it's only missing like some gimmicks like the night vision or something like that, but even has the Alcantara roofliner and stuff like that.
Sind Sie zufrieden mit Ihrem Kauf?
Free Robert.
Alright, so as you guys saw, we just picked up the M5 and he's driving in front of me right now. And yeah, so basically the guy was actually pretty cool. At first we thought he was a little bit sketchy because he kind of gave us the wrong address, or like his neighbor's address, and then he like came to see us, which was weird. But the car itself is pretty good, I would say, for what it is. I mean, it's been sitting for half a year, he said. He bought it somewhere like 5 months or 6 months ago, and since then it's been pretty much just sitting. And the car, as you might have saw, is a US import, so it's a USA vehicle. So far the car is driving pretty fine. It's obnoxiously loud, it's stupidly loud because it has some like exhaust setup from the US where things don't matter, which we 100% have to change. But yeah, other than that, the M5, it looks super good, it looks so nice, even in its like a little bit like rough shape, I would say. So the paint is a little bit damaged overall. There's a few dents in the side panels and in the doors. The mirror caps have scraped, the headlights are yellowed. So overall it's just, yeah, I mean, the car has seen better days. Also in the interior you saw the seat was ripped, all of these kind of control panels were super mashed up, and overall, yeah, I mean, not a very well maintained vehicle, but still for the price I think you can't go wrong with a V8. The engine sounds healthy, everything seems to be working quite well mechanically. It has like a front mount intake, which looks stupid, and honestly I don't really feel like should be on this car, but yeah. Other than that, pretty much the car is solid, precious, I would say. Yeah. Hopefully we make it home very nice, very well. He's rocking some 12-year-old tires on some 22-inch wheels. So yeah, that's always a good idea if you want to drive 600 kilometers or like 700, I think it's back. The first stop right now is a gas station because, as you might expect, if you buy a cheap BMW M5, there's about 20 kilometers of fuel left in the car. So yeah, first stop, gas station. These are very beautiful cars, but this one has clearly been neglected a little bit. Still, I think it looks cool. Gotta love German economy. We just went to get some pipes.
Yeah, so on our way back home, we met up with this guy who had this sick M6 because he was selling some catted downpipes. We talked to him a little bit, and funny thing is that he actually also spoke to the guy who sold the car previously because he planned on maybe even buying the car, but now, as it turns out, he has his M6 and he was selling the downpipes. So still happy we got to meet him and we got the downpipes.
Okay, we just did a little stop because first of all, we picked up some catted downpipes because as this is a US car, it doesn't have cats in the downpipes, so they definitely have to go back in the catalytic converters. The car is obnoxiously loud, so can't continue like that. And also we have to eat something. So he just texted me, and the M5 has a check engine light, so yeah. That didn't last very long. Also guys, check out the weather, super nice. So that's how he's going to be driving home this F10 with like 600 horsepower or something. In the rain on some 12-year-old tires. Great.
Yeah, so we got something to eat and kind of waited for the rain to pass a little bit by because at that time it was actually pretty heavily raining and driving in this weather was definitely not the most fun thing to do. But at least this way we had some time to figure out what was wrong with the car or why it had this check engine light. But the engine sounded healthy, it was running good and it had full power, so we just kept on going.
Okay, so we're just continuing driving and we're like risking it with the check engine light because we think that maybe either they didn't do a software for the catless downpipes or it's something minor, maybe like a spark plug or something like that, because the car is running fine and no weird noises. Should be good. I don't know, it's only 600 kilometers. So yeah, what could go wrong? Oh, also, I don't really like the idea of all this water on the road because it's like pretty heavily raining and the car has front mount intakes and the car is originally from Texas, so probably the first time it's seen these like rainy conditions. But hey, yeah. boys, as you can see, we just went and took a little stop. Here's the M5, here's the X5, and yeah, we have around 300 kilometers left. Right now it's all going pretty smooth. Car is behaving pretty good, actually. The engine light went away a few times and then it came back, so yeah, I don't know, maybe a sensor or something. Probably not something bad, but yeah, other than that, going pretty smooth, which is surprising, I guess, when you buy the cheapest M5 on the market. Okay, I have to turn on the lighting. That's actually way better. So, actually, I think the M5 survived the trip because we have 10 minutes left to drive, and then we're there. We also have like 50 kilometers of fuel left, so should be arriving any minute now. Otherwise, that's not good. But yeah, actually, the M5 held up very well, except for the check engine light, which went on a couple of times, but hey, I mean, it's a cheap M5, what do you expect? Other than that, yeah, very good purchase, I would say, because no big issues so far. I mean, the one time I like document this kind of stuff, nothing goes wrong actually, but hey, I'm happy for that. I mean, this isn't even my car, but still, I think it was pretty cool to see. Yeah, I mean, how cheap an M5 can actually get, and yeah, just generally what to expect when you're doing a road trip in an M5 you just bought. Yeah.
After arriving home and petting the dog, we could take a look at the M5 and try to read it for the fault codes for the first time. And even though the car had quite a lot of faults, after raising them once, none of them came back. And we did find out that the downpipes were actually the issue which caused the check engine light. But you already saw us picking up the catted downpipes from the guy with the M6 earlier. But even with the cats and an Eisenmann exhaust, this car truly still sounds amazing.
You're irresistible, I'm insensible, and when we are together we're inseparable. You're a pleasant girl, you know you make my world.
Ey, der hat sogar Schießer. Genial. Mit dem Typ schießen.
When we are together we don't call it quits. We're under the bed sheets until 6:10.